Hello, welcome to Catholic Teacher Resources, your venue for innovative and creative resources for all subject areas within our faith-based classrooms. Back to CTR so we can access IntoScience. Now remember, your username for IntoScience and Athletics is the same. So we're going to go ahead and sign in. Okay, here you go. So when the kids first get logins, when you are enrolling your students in IntoScience, you don't have to re-enroll them if your math and science classes are exactly the same. If they are, then whatever login they use from athletics, they use that again in IntoScience. If, however, your science classes are different, then you have to re-enroll them. So if you go back to the Teacher Center, there's a guide there. You can fill it out, and you're going to contact Sasha Flanagan at IntoScience, and she will enroll your science kids. Again, that's if your science are different than math. When the kids first log into IntoScience, first thing they're going to do is they're going to create an avatar. So I've already done that. And then what you could do is you can allow them to move around and explore. As they explore the virtual worlds, they're able to complete these different quests, these little challenges. And then as they complete those, they gain these achievements, right? So the first one is about the scientists, and there's different ones. While they're doing that, though, you can look for an activity that you would like to complete. So you come up here at the activity tab, you scroll down, you look for a unit that you're currently working on, and you find one that you like, characteristics of living things, and you can always scroll down to this little L and get a lesson plan. Here you go. Tells you exactly what you're going to do, what your kids are going to do, what questions are going to come by, what the answers are. Okay, and oftentimes there's a worksheet as well, a student worksheet that you can print out for them to complete, maybe for homework or while they're completing the activity. Okay, if you like this one, yes, you want your kids to come here, you come up to the teacher controls menu here and you summon your class. When you click that button, that puts this red bar up there as a reminder that you've summoned them. And now, no matter where they are in IntoScience, whether they're exploring 3D worlds or exploring a different activity, because they have access to everything, nothing is turned off for them. Unlike Mathletics, where you can turn things off, nothing is turned off in IntoScience. So wherever they are, it'll force them to come here. So now you have all your kids here, you allow them to do it. When you feel that some of them are starting to complete the activity, you could, where it says restrict navigation, you could turn that off. That takes off the red bar, and then students will be able to, once they're completed, they'll be able to go back to the 3D worlds. A lot of the kids really like the 3D worlds because they're fun, very video game format. They complete these little challenges, and every time they complete a challenge, it sort of opens up a different part of the world, and they get a different challenge. So they go from challenge to challenge, completing these and gaining these achievements. Okay, so those are the activities. Other things here in the teacher controls, where it says class, that's where you can access different classes. So if maybe you have, third, fourth, and fifth period science, you could access them all here. Your teacher console is the equivalent of your grade book. Okay, so here, if you go into reports, here you would be able to see exactly how they're doing. You would click here, and you would have a list of all your students. And you could see exactly how they're doing. You could scroll here, you can see exactly how they're doing. The inquiry points are what they receive as they complete the activities in IntoScience, right? So select each of the tiles to solve the puzzles and discover the 7 characteristics of living things. Oh, okay, so as the students complete this activity, they're going to receive inquiry points. So when you come back here to reports, inquiry points basically shows you that they completed the activity. So if there's 18 points here and the student only has 7, what that means is that student didn't finish that activity. Okay, so now let me come up here, view your results. So if you wanted to see how you yourself were doing, so you can see what I've been completing here. the achievements. So the students see this as well, right? So for them, the students can see exactly what they've completed and they can see what achievements they've created. So these are, again, those little challenges that you complete while you're in the 3D worlds. And okay, so locations. Here are the 3D worlds. Everyone's going to start in the research lab, and you sort of move your way down. You sort of flow into the next one. The activity journal is how they can go to specific activities. So you can scroll this way, and you can see all the different activities that kids can do. And then if you want them to go to something specific, gravity, you launch that, and that's what they're doing. So that's a way for them to get to the activities. Now, the difference between using the activity journal versus using the activities drop-down menu, the difference is when you go through the activity journal, you start at the very beginning, versus if you use the activity drop-down menu, you can go specifically into each topic and start somewhere in the middle. So for example, here at cells, you can see that I completed some of these, but not all. So I may not want to start at the beginning. I may want to start somewhere else. The activity drop-down menu allows you to do that. The last bit of information here on the locations menu I want to show you is the third degree, which is equivalent to Mathletics' version of live Mathletics. It just allows the kids to get that competition, but instead you're doing it all with science vocabulary and science concepts. So we go easy, medium, hard, and extreme. So you can do a local match between the kids in the class, or a world match, or you can invite somebody specific. So let's try, let me show you what they look like. Okay, so here we go. We get a 4x4 grid where you got the harder questions, but they're going to be worth more points, and the easier questions. So the kids will click, and they either get that point or not, right? And the idea is to try to go around and collect as many points as possible within this fairly short period of time. And the kids love it because it's all about competition. So you could, put kids' names on the board, whoever's got the highest amount of points, that's all really fun. Okay, the search function here allows you to type in a particular vocabulary word, and you're going to get not only definitions, but some activities probably surrounding that vocabulary word. You can also get some articles as well. And the last thing here you have is the interactive periodic table. As a former 8th grade science teacher, this is really helpful because it allows the kids to practice, right, what they're doing. Okay, so this is IntoScience. When you're in the activities, you don't get the avatar. When you're in the, so I think I'm in Asian Woodlands now as far as the 3D worlds. When you're in the 3D worlds, you get the avatar. To make the avatar move, you just use the arrow keys. Wherever your avatar is facing is forward, right? So in order to turn the avatar, you have to turn her or his head first. Okay, and then that's how she moves. But forward is always the direction to move. If you want to run, you hold down the shift button and then your avatar runs. Okay, that's IntoScience. Okay, that's it for our tutorial today. If you have any questions about this tutorial, our site, or resources, feel free to contact us by email or phone. Thank you, and God bless.